welcome back to my YouTube live. As you all know, in yesterday's live, I was making the Sophie hood. So today we will be completing this, inshallah, and finalize my product. So let's start where we left off. So yesterday I counted, and we have to make 24 decreases to complete this and to reach the end where we have to finish dropping off every stitch. So it's 24 times that I have to repeat the 8 row pattern. So I have to decrease every 8 row, and I have to do that 8 row pattern 24 times. So let's do that. This is the Sophie hood by Petite Net. I haven't really bought the pattern, but I have seen random videos, and it's pretty much clear that how many stitches I have made, how much length it has to be. So it solves half of the problems, and so I didn't need to buy the pattern. It's really great when you see people write the patterns of what they worked really hard for, and the pattern of their own. I don't feel like buying the patterns. Maybe if it's just necessary for me to buy, because if there is no video on the pattern or nobody's revealing the pattern, so I might buy it in the future, but I think it's not. I would not be the one to buy the patterns if they are available on YouTube, or like randomly if I can use them. So a little yarn update. This is how much yarn we have in the second skein, and I have this third skein over here. So right when this ends, I will start using this third one, and it's gonna end soon. So I'm trying to remember every decrease, so we know how many decreases we have left, so we know the progress. So this is the pattern one time and 24 times. When I do the decrease, I will count it as first decrease. And the slip stitches, 1, 2, and 3. row 3. Also, things will speed up when the number of stitches are less. I really hope that I finish this in 2-hour live, because today I do not have my laptop with me. So if my phone died, I would not have any means to recharge it, because there is no switch near me. So what I do is I just put my data cable in my laptop and get connected to my phone. So if my phone dies, then it dies, and then we have to say goodbye. But I think it would do. We have enough charging. Windmill. Hi, how are you? And which country are you watching me from? Row 4. Oh my god, it's twisted again. The last knot, I guess. Yes, very good. So our 4th row. row 6. Good afternoon. I am knitting a Sophie hood by Petite Knit, and today we are going to complete this to the end. So it's morning here in Pakistan. Where are you from? It's noon over there. Also, I'm very curious of this language that you also have in your name, Mapro, and then the alphabets are different. Would you tell me what language is this? Because I see this on Instagram as well, but I do not know what this language is actually. So I'm really curious. Row 7. Today I don't have my laptop with me, so it's like impossible to comment from me on my live chat. But I do want to share that if you like my live, do give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel and share this live as much as you can. This is what I usually write in the comments and pin the message, but today I can't do that. And I don't know how to do that from my phone because my phone doesn't show me an option that I can comment on my own live. So I open my live on my laptop and then I comment from there. Is there a way that I can do that from my phone? If you know, let me know. Row 8. So this is our first increase of today out of the 24 decreases that we have to do. So let's do that. You know the drill, how we do the decreases. So knit 2, 1 and 2, slip the third one, knit the fourth one, and drag this slip stitch off the needle. So this is our decrease. rest of the stitches are the same until we reach the end where we have to slip the last 3 stitches, and that is what we have been doing all this project. And the reason why we slip the last 3 stitches every row is because we have to make this very fine edge, which is called the eye cord. So this is the definition point of the hood. So it looks neat, and I'm really fascinated by this pattern because she, uh, the one who has the petite knit, she is really amazing that she introduced this. Like, you are knitting, and while knitting you can make the border. So 8th row we are not going to add a 9th row, we are simply going to reset and start from row 1. So now we are off to our second decrease pattern, and we're starting with row 1. Now it's the same every row until the 8th row where we have to decrease again, and that will be our second decrease. And like that we will be making 24 decreases in total, and we're not just going to decrease 24 times, but when we are completed with the 24 decreases, we will do frequent decreases, maybe in a single row, to finish off all the stitches so that we can stitch it up. So we are near to the end of our first row. The last 3 stitches we have to just slip them off. And also, when I was knitting, my thread was behind this needle, and when I was slipping these 3 stitches, I used this technique, which is also the purling technique, but we are not actually going to purl, we are only going to slip the stitches. 1, 2, and 3. I don't know the reason behind it, but this is what we have to do. We slipped a stitch by mistake. Yes. So this is our second row. Are you also knitting or crocheting something while watching this live? Because when I used to watch lives where knitting or crocheting something is happening, I just grab my yarn and my crochet hook and I would just crochet whatever I wanted. It just sets the vibe because it's like someone is knitting or crocheting and then we're doing whatever you want alongside with them. So that's a little different and I really liked it. I do want to know if you are doing the same. The live chat is open. Please don't hesitate and reply to what I am asking, or even if you have to ask me something, you just can go to my live chat. In short, the live chat is waiting for you all. Okay, so third row. This is the yarn. We are ending the second skein we were using. Hi Leonard Johnson, how are you? I do remember that you joined in yesterday's live as well. And today we're just gonna complete what we were making. I hope you will like it and would wish to watch it till the end because it's going to be really good. Finishing this off. It is a Tuesday morning here for me, so it's quite refreshing. I actually enjoy the mornings more than I enjoy the day or night. Obviously, if I have to go with my friends or with family and I have time to enjoy, then I obviously like the daytime or the nighttime. But the calmness of the mornings and the freshness it brings to my mind, and the, what should I say, the productiveness the morning brings, I'm just in love with that. And I didn't used to be a morning person before, but since I started getting up early, I realized what I was missing. So I think I am never going to miss this again in my life. Because I can never be this productive during the day or the night. Because most of the times I'm tired, or maybe I have some other things to do, and maybe I'll crochet or knit even in that time. But I don't feel like I progress so much. I just knit or I just crochet and a little bit for some time, and then I would leave it for maybe 2-3 days. But it's not that productive, really. Okay, last 3 stitches. Row 5. I just realized I completed row 4 while talking and I didn't realize that I was doing it quick. Okay, row 5, right? And we're moving forward towards our second decrease of today. So guys, a little update on my health. I was having a pain in my hands, in my right hand and arm yesterday. And because I was fasting, I could not take the painkiller. So, but it went good. My fast was good. It was not that bad. I could bear it. And when I opened my fast, the pain was gone already, so I didn't have to take the medicine. But what happened this morning at Sahur, when Sahur is the time when I keep my fast and I stopped drinking after that. So in Sahur, I had a headache and the time was short to eat, and then I stopped eating. I literally forgot to take the medicine, and the Sahur ended, and I no longer had time to take the medicine. So now I have a headache. That's the update, and I hope that I handle it well today. Sometimes it's just not a headache on its own, but it's kind of like dehydration that comes with fasting. But and also, I would admit that I didn't drink enough water yesterday because I was busy. But usually, I would drink a lot of water during that time before suhoor, so I don't feel dehydrated. And that was not the case yesterday. So there's a little headache right now, but it's manageable. Hi, hello, Deborah. How are you? I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. So yeah, that's that. I think it's fine that your health goes sometimes up, sometimes a little low, but that's just life. You have to go along with it. And I was a person that whenever on a little inconvenience or a little pain in my body, I would just take painkillers. I know that's not good, but I was the person. I was that person. So after I was married, that need for the medicine was low. I wouldn't say the need, but I suppressed myself to not take that much painkiller, because we all know painkillers are not good for your body, and that was the reason I started suppressing my needs to take the medicine. And I think that has a beneficial effect on me now, because whenever I have a headache or ache in my arms or hands, it just goes away on its own. Maybe my body has realized that it has to do something on its own rather than taking help from the outside. So that's an achievement I would say I have this year. Well, actually, last year. I got married last year in 2025, January. Also, my husband helped me to overcome this. Excuse me. And I'm really happy that I did that. We are so consumed by the medicine today that we just have medicine for everything. But when you start taking them, it's just like you're running on medicines, and that's a negative point for me, I think. For some, it works perfectly well, and maybe some have many great problems to deal with. But I'm just talking about these little pains and aches that you can just handle on your own, but you still choose to take the medication. That's where I think the choice begins, whether you want to endure it and cure, let your body cure it, and the other choice you make would be just take the medicine and let the medicine do its work. Both are fine, but I prefer that my body deals with it. And that is the reason my fasts are going great. So, through, it's good that the time passed by while talking. Now it's our second decrease of the 24 decreases left today. So, you know the drill, knit 2, first 2, 1, 2, slip the third one, knit the fourth one, oops, and then this slipped stitch has to be dropped over this fourth knitted one and off the needle. So this is our decrease. So we have made our second decrease out of 24. So now we have 22 decreases left on the way. Hi Corbs, I was waiting for you. How are you? And where have you been? You were not in my life yesterday. Were you busy? Yesterday live was 3 hours long. I'm telling you, Corbs. And I really tried hard to just complete and finish this project, but no, I was just being greedy. That was not possible because if I was already in 3 hours of live, I would have to go an hour or hour and a half live more. But I was exhausted, and I know that I cannot complete this in one live, so this is the last live for this project, not mine last live, but for this project. So at the end, this project will be completed. So no row 9, just a reset and row 1. Moving forward to our third decrease pattern, starting with row 1. There's some crochet hooks that come in a pack of 2 that are attached by strings, and there are 4 knitting. So what you're telling me is these needles have a string. I think maybe you're talking about the Tunisian crochet that you do, right? Because normally the crochet hooks don't have a string, and I think the string is there because a lot of the stitches have to be on the crochet hook at the same time in Tunisian crochet, right? Yeah, I got it. I have an idea in my mind. So it's like a crochet hook, that a hook is formed, and behind it it's just like this string or the cable. Oh yeah, I think this string helps learning faster. Even when I was a beginner at knitting, I used these cables, because the ones that are too long, they just don't work for me. So even I'm not a beginner now, but I just prefer using these with the string. What do you all think? Can we finish this project in today's live with 22 decreases left? And we have to make every decrease after 8th row. I think I can, but let's just move forward. Maybe we can do a little more than 2 hours live. It's not like a written thing that I have to do 2-hour live. So let's just go with the plan. So our row 1 is done, now row 2. We're gonna go on the roof now with this project, or in actual meaning you're going to go on the roof. Yes, we will be making this. We will be completing this today. So it's the 13th fast of this month, and we have total of 29 or sometimes 30 fasts. And after the Ramadan month is over, there is our festival which we call Eid, and Eid celebrations are just grand. So we just go to each other's houses and we prepare the sweets, the traditional ones. And for Eid, I went shopping yesterday that I just told you all about. I just didn't realize I was not hydrating well enough, and now today I have a headache. I was busy there. So yeah, sometimes I just imagine myself working even on Eid, but let's see. Maybe I will rest on Eid day. Maybe I will not, because I just love making lives, and it's not work for me. It's fun. So on row 3rd, so what are you making while watching this live, Corpse? Is there something that you're working on right now? Okay, so the last 3 stitches, slip stitches. Row 4, it's coming to an end, this yarn, and then we'll move forward to the next skein. was to start a skein of yarn, I would just grab the corner, outer end of the yarn, and that would just make me roll the skein over and over again so that I can have the yarn coming. But now that I have seen all the crocheters and knitters use the technique where they pull the thread out of this hole, and it just makes yarn flow more, like it's more flowy, and the yarn skein does not have to roll over and over again to be helpful. So after I've tried this, I just prefer doing that only. Sometimes it's really hard to find the inner end of the yarn, but it still works. It works out in the end. Slip stitches and row 5. It makes me really happy that I'm completing one of my knit projects, because knitting has always been something that I wanted to learn and be good at, but every time I start something I just don't finish it because that just becomes boring for me. Maybe because it's too long, and I only completed my knit projects when they were beanies, and now that I've started this knit project, this is going to be my second Sophie hood, which is in great shape, by the way, because the last one I made was so messy. It was really messy. I can't even explain. Done with our row 5. Now row 6. B. Dina, who are you? And where are you from? It has been an hour already, and we are going to make our third decrease. I hope that we work so fast and that we can complete it in 2 hours. If you look at it like this, we are only going to make 6 decreases in 2 hours time. If I have done 3 decreases in 1 hour, it's not that great. I have to do it faster. last 3 stitches are the slip ones. Now row 7. I think we can do one more row until we have to connect to the third skein. My speed is not affected, I think, even when I'm talking and when I'm not talking, it's the same both times. But I felt like if I was talking, I was not making it faster. But I think that's not the case. Okay, so you can see the yarn in my hand, the last bit of it. Okay, so the slip stitches 1, 2 and 3. Now we have a decrease row, but before that we have to get the inner end of this. I just hope that I catch directly what I want. Oh no. Please. Oh my god. It's like a big baby came out of it. No, I wanted it to be neat. I think we are close. Wait, where's the end? Because it's definitely coming from the mid part. Let me see. It's still in here somewhere. This. I think I have found it. Yes, thank God. The yarn is still so much tangled. Let me just make it right. 1 second. Okay, so let's just connect these two ends. Yes, now we're good to go. We have to cut this. forgive me for using the kitchen scissors because I kinda lost my scissor that I use for my yarns and my projects. That's a little different one. Yeah. So now we can start our degrees. Sometimes my stitches get too close to the pointy end of the needle that it just falls off on its own, and I really despise it. So I just push back the stitches and then I start knitting. So officially we're entering our third skein now after the stitch. Yes, this is our third skein starting. And we have also made our third decrease. Moving forward to our fourth one. Slip stitches. 1, 2, and 3. Reset. Go 1. I think I would want to change the location. Not now, but when my phone runs out of charging. Because I just want to complete it. And my phone's charging is already half. It was full when I started this live. Row 2. Completing our row 2. slip stitches, and now we're done with the row 2, row 3, guys, I have another knot. Let's fix it first. Sometimes the tangles are so bad, you just have to knit and then untangle, and then knit and then untangle, because some yarn would be used up by the knitting, and then you can just fix the knots along with it. That's, I think, a way where it's easier to untie the knots. Okay, so we are on our third row, going to our fourth one. 1, 2, and 3, row 4. Curves, are you there? Still watching? hours has gone. He has to go to bed. He told me once. This is our 4th decrease, right? Going to be our 4th decrease. And row 5th is ending. 6th row. If we are on our 4th degree of today, out of 24, that means we still have 20 more degrees to do before we can end. So let's keep knitting. Oh my god, I have this tension in my arm. Sorry, tension in my yarn, not my arm. Look how tangled it is. Look what I found. Another end. I don't know what end I have in my knitting right now. And wow. Maybe I. No, 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 no. It has a lot of ends. See? I just have this in my hand. Like, it has a lot of ends. See? Another end. I don't know what they did to this yarn scheme. They just tricked me. I thought I had the end. Maybe that is the end of the real end of this yarn. Okay, let's just complete this. I have untangled a lot of yarn and I can do knitting now based on that. My yarn has this stretch. Is it even possible to have so many ends in the same skein of yarn? 7th row. Look, this is getting smaller, the width. This is just so frustrating. Like, look at this, guys. I think I should just hold on to the ends and start to untangle them. Maybe it will eventually straighten my yarn. Alright, we are close. So we are on our 7th row. Yes, we are going to start our 7th row hopefully soon. Let me just do this, and I have to hold all of this, and I have to move it around my yarn to untangle. Again. And again. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna cut this and make a new joint. Let's see how much we can save out of this. I'm not gonna waste this. Obviously, I'm gonna use it later when I untangle it. Look, this was how much it was untangled, and it was impossible for me to do it right now. So, okay, we have this. And now let's connect both of these together. Now this end to this yarn. I really like these knots. These get so tiny. Sometimes not so tiny, but this helps. Look how tiny it became. So it's almost invisible when they come in the project. Like, it's not that visible when it is used. Okay, so now let's start without stopping. Half of my time is consumed by this. Like, seriously. Okay, on our 7th row, let's start. I mistakenly knit the stitch which was supposed to be a slip one. So let's knit 1, 2 and 3. Now row 8 and our 4th decrease. Knit the first 2, 1, 2, slip the third one and knit the fourth one. Bring this slip stitch off from the needle. Now we have our 4th decrease. 20 more to go and we have to catch up with time. I hope my hands move faster. Hello everyone joining now. We are making the Sophie hood and hopefully we will be completing this in this live session. Keep watching till the end to find out how it looks. So this is the 5th pattern. We are repeating the decrease pattern for the 5th time. So by the end of it, the decrease that we will be doing would be the 5th decrease of today out of 24. So 19 more to go after this pattern. Last 3 stitches, we need to slip them off the needle. And now row 2. So how is the weather in your place, in your city, in your country? Because here it's the morning time but it's still gonna be sunny. Like it's not that hot over here in Pakistan, but the summers are starting, so when they do start, they're not gonna be merciful, of course. but right now the weather is quite refreshing and like quite good. So sometimes I feel hot when the fan is not on, but right now the fan is off and I still feel very good. It's not a hot day either. So what is the weather where you are right now? The slip stitches 1, 2 and 3, row 3. Okay, so the video that I watched on this Sophie Hood by Petite Knit, obviously it was not on the Petite Knit's YouTube channel or something like that. I don't even know if she has a YouTube channel. But the video I saw was of a random woman knitting a Sophie Hood, and then I just watched the video, and while she recorded, she was counting the days, like it's the day 1 of knitting the Sophie Hood, now day 2, now day 3, and so on and so forth. She recorded it till day 5 or 6, I think, and her Sophie Hood was complete. So it took her 5 days to knit this whole thing. And while I was watching it, her speed was not more than mine, like what I'm knitting right now. But I don't know how she managed to complete the whole thing in just 5 or 6 days. I mean, she must have been not busy at all, but she had a family. Don't know. Maybe for some people, when they're on the camera, their speed is slowed down, but when the camera is off and they're doing something off camera, their speed tends to be much faster. That's my theory, because sometimes I'm so uncomfortable in front of the camera that my speed is just slowed down. And this used to happen when I started making the videos, making the content the first time ever. And when the camera was off, I would do it quite fast. So even in the crochet, like maybe it's the camera effect, but I still can't manage to complete this in 5 or 6 days. Maybe I just started it and then made it rest a couple of days and then started it again, so I don't know how many days it took of mine, but still I think it's more than 6-7 days, even if I count it. So we are making the row 4. The slip stitches 1, 2 and 3. Row 5. Just making sure that I untwist my work, because it's twists really badly. So this is our 5th row. Of the 8th row decrease pattern that needs to be repeated 19 more times. My hands used to be very tight in knitting, but now that I realized that my hands are not too tight, and so I can knit anything I put my mind to, which is obviously a beginner project, because in knitting I would consider myself not a complete beginner, but yeah, I have still this anxiety where I I can't complete the big projects. So whenever I want to knit something, my hands are not too tight, and that's my achievement, because your work looks flowy when your hands are not too tight, and when they are tight, your work just looks like a stiff piece of work. So that I think nobody likes. Also, I don't like that either. So yeah, it's really amazing when I just knit fast, because it's loose on the needles and it just glides off of the needle. I saw a meme where they it was like, if I teach someone how to knit, I would tell them, stab it, strangle it, and push it off the cliff. That's that's how you do the knit. So I find it so fascinating. It was a good meme, and that just makes sense. You just stab it like so, you strangle it, and then you push it off the cliff, and there's your knit stitch. That's different. Like, some people imagine different things, and yeah, we are coming to the end of our 6th row, on to our 7th row. Hi Veronica, how are you? Hi everyone else that I cannot pronounce your names, but still everyone is welcome. Um, there's a comment from a like from a person, and the alphabets I think are Chinese, if I'm not wrong. I only know alphabets of Japanese and Chinese. Like, I can just recognize them, but I don't know what they are actually or how to pronounce them. It's like you can just watch and tell which language is it. So I think that it's Chinese, if I'm not wrong. But I still don't know what's the name of the one who commented with that channel. Last 3 stitches needs to be slipped, and now row 8. So this is going to be our 5th decrease of today out of 24. Knit 1, knit 2, slip 3rd, knit 4th, and drop the slipped stitch like so. Okay, and knit the rest of the stitches till the end of the row, where the last 3 stitches still need to be slipped off the needle to make the I-cord. stitches and reset, row 1. After 6th degrees, go to 24 and 18 more to go after the 6th degrees. Until now we have made 5 degrees so far in this life. Slipping the last 3 stitches and row 2. Every time the yarn is twisted on its own, I just get scared because I think that now there's another knot, but thankfully there was not, and it was just wrapped around itself, so we are fine. So I do my lives every day at this time. When I started today, for me it was 9 a.m. here in Pakistan, so you can just watch the time that is in your country, so that's when you can join my lives. I schedule my live before coming live, so make sure to wait for me when I go live. Yeah. I just love these live sessions so much that I decided to go live every day. It's like I'm doing something for myself, because randomly, if I find some time to do something for myself, I would do what makes me the most happy. And going live and connecting with you all is the happy moment for me. So that's why I made this decision, and that's why I chose to go live every day. And trust me, it makes me fresh, it makes me like, it makes me feel like I have a purpose. if I'm not going overboard, but it kind of feels like that. So it's really good to know that you have a knitting or crochet community that you can connect with and you can showcase your work. Being live, like, the feeling is unmatched, truly. Like when I started my live session and when I decided to go live every day, I was like not so comfortable with it. At first, I thought, what would I talk about? What would like happen? What if I get stuck? And it's a live audience and everything is live. So what if I make a mistake? But then I told myself that it's allowed to be making mistakes and everyone does make mistakes. So now, today when I'm sitting here doing this knitting Sophie Hood thing in front of you, it's quite refreshing. It makes me feel like you guys are watching and I have to do it to show you guys what it is like to complete a project. It feels really amazing. And those of you guys who make the knitting or the crochet products, and when you complete your projects, it just feels too good. So you would know what I'm talking about. One more knit and then 3 slip stitches. 1, 2 and 3. Row 5. So we are moving forward to our 6th degrees, right? If I'm not wrong. If I have missed the counting, please let me know in the comments. But I think this is the 6th degrees we're gonna do, not the one that we did. I think we're moving pretty fast. Okay guys, my phone's about to die. Let me bring my charger real quick and then we can change location where the switch is near. 1, 2 and 3, 6th row. So when I come back, we will be starting with 6th row, and I'm coming back in a few seconds, literally a few seconds. Don't go anywhere, okay? we are going to start our 6th row. This is our row 6. I just have to remind myself over and over again that we are on our 6th degrees, going to do our 6th degrees, because I just forget so quickly these numbers. That is the reason I have this counter on my finger to count the rows. But I think the degrees can be counted like in the mind, because they are less and they come every 8th row. So yeah, the 6th degrees we're gonna do. Guys, right now I'm away from the window, so if the lighting has changed, I'm so sorry for that. Because if I hadn't changed my location, my phone would have been gone for good, and the life needs to be like going. Row 7. So it's 10:49 a.m. my time, and I started my live at 9 a.m. So it's about to be 2 hours and 11 minutes. But who cares? We're gonna complete it anyway. So let's just drag the life to the length that we want. Well, yesterday's live was 3 hours long. Let's see how long this live can be. I just don't want to overexert myself, but I just also don't want to prolong this project anymore. Row 8 and decrease number 6. Knit 2, slip the third one as we do in the degrees, knit the fourth one, and this third slipped stitch needs to be dropped, and this is our degrees. Knit the rest of the stitches like so till the end of the row, and the last 3 stitches as usual need to be slipped for the anchor. So on both sides, both the end sides, there needs to be an anchor. So every time we start to knit a row, we end it with 3 slip stitches. So that has to be the same every row. last 3 stitches, we need to slip them off the needle and now reset row 1. So we did 6 decreases in total and a manual high, and now we are repeating this pattern for the 7th time, meaning we are going to decrease the 7th time. So let's do that. This is row 1 of our 7th pattern. I would say our 7th repeating pattern of the 8 rows. Last 3 stitches needs to be slipped and row 2. Now the first stitch always gets stuck at the tip of it, while the rest of them just glide easily. And while knitting this, it was not my favorite color before, but I'm just loving it while I'm making it, and it's getting its full shape. It's becoming a full Sophie hood. So it feels like it is prettier. Like every stitch I make, it becomes prettier to look at. But unfortunately, I cannot wear it for another year because the winter is over. But the winter is coming time, as Jon Snow said, winter is coming. So that is not for another year for me. So, but yeah, I can wear it, and then I can take pictures to post on my YouTube post area. But I cannot carry it because it's not winter anymore. That's what I wanted to say. Guys, I used to have distortion in my lights. Is it still there now, or is it resolved? I feel like I need to get a feedback on this from you guys, because if it is not gone, then I need to do things to make it work. Like, If there is distortion, let me know, because any live or any video that has distortion in it just doesn't feel good or feel right to be watched. And if that's my opinion, all of you guys would be thinking the same, because nobody wants to listen to a distorted video. So help me out and tell me if distortion is still there or it's gone. Go for it. I think everybody should be doing live. Everyone that has a talent or has something that they make from their hands, anything, because I myself has an eye for art and crafts. So I think everyone should give live streams a try, because it works wonders. Like, even mentally you feel seen. Like, you want to show some talent to the people, you just start doing lives and you feel amazing. That's what I feel. Row fifth. Ouch! Thank God it didn't slip off. Why it is so stiff? Why it's stuck? No, please don't do this. So we completed our fourth row and now we are at we completed fourth row and now we are at fifth row. This is going to be our fifth row. Guys, there is an option when I go live. There is an option visible that shows go live together. So does it work like two people can go live at the same time and like they can chit chat? If that's the case, I would really want to try that option. First I would search about it and then I would really want to use that. That will be, I think, real conversation kind of thing. When both people can go live at the same time, they can both speak, I guess. And the conversation just builds up. Row 6. forward to our 7th degrees out of the 24 degrees. Feeling really great and motivated to be going forward to the end. And first I felt like we would not be able to make it in this side, but yes, we surely can, and we are definitely going to be making this happen. Last 3 stitches, slip, slip, and slip. 7th row. Okay, and this the work. Let's start with row 7. It's just easier when you talk and you work. You don't realize how much work you have done while talking, because it's just gets so much fun. I mean, I just started this pattern 7th time, and now we're at the end of it. Like, the next row is the last row of this pattern. Here with decrease. Okay, so the last 3 stitches, slip, slip, and slip. 8th row. Knit 1, knit 2, slip 3rd, knit 4th, and drop this 3rd stitch of the needle like so. And the rest are knit, knit, knit until the last 3 stitches where we slip down. So this was our 7th decrease. We have made 7 decreases so far in this 2-hour live. Moving forward to our 8th decrease. There is also 8th time repeating the pattern of 8 rows. That means decreasing every 8th row. Last 3 stitches and we slip them. Slip, slip, and slip. Okay, so now reset and row 1. So, if I'm not wrong, we are moving towards the 8th degrees, right? So this is our row 1 of that 8th time repeating the pattern of 8 rows. ending our row 1 with the slip stitches, slip, slip, and slip, go to. This is our row 2. All the same pattern, knitting, 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 and at the end slip the last 3 stitches. The next row, same, knit all the way through the end where you have to slip stitches. Like slipping the stitches, which last 3 stitches, is repetitive. There is no question about it. You just have to slip the last 3 stitches every row. At least where we are at right now, because at some point in making the sofa hood, you don't have to slip stitch the last 3 stitches every row, because when we are shaping the hood, the back side of the hood does not have to have the eye cord, which is made when we slip the last 3 stitches. So in that case, you don't have to slip the last 3 stitches, and that also on one side, not on both sides. So that you'll know when you follow the knit pattern of the sofa hood. Now slip, slip, and slip, row 3. Oh my god, I just forgot how many decreases I have made. We can just count the number of stitches and then we will know how many decreases we have made and how many we have to do. Sometimes it's just so easy to forget, and sometimes I even remember other people's birthdays. That's my brain. It also has an impact when you are older and you have a lot of important stuff to remember. Obviously, this is also important, remembering other people's birthdays, but when you grow older and you have your brain, your mind in so many places, you literally forget the small things. So that's me. So you're asking me a question, how are your advice on what? I don't remember giving any advice, but if I did, please mention it so I know what we're talking about. So this is our 4th row. row 5. Why it gets stuck? No, not again. Okay, so this is the 5th row that we're gonna start. Okay, so I was telling you about my Sophie hood. The first time I made it, it was an off-white color, and I told you that it was messy, a lot of mess. It was a complete mess, I would say. But the things I learned by making that Sophie hood, I tried to stay away from them in the making of this Sophie hood. But even in this one, I did not do it perfectly. So let me tell you where I made the mistake. So the pattern tells me to increase every 8th row when you are starting to make the stitches, and you add stitches every 8th row. Like I am decreasing every 8th row to like narrow it down. So when I wanted to give it some width, I had to increase every 8th row. So when I was increasing every 8th row, what I did was I didn't even realize I have to make decreases on one side of the Sophie hood. So I was not keeping track of that, and I just kept on making the increases. And what happened was the instead of a straight look, the front side should have a straight look and the back side should have the increases, so it goes like this, slanted. So what I made was the the point or the side where the decreases or increases have to be made. Sometimes I made on this side, sometimes I made on the other side. So it was like this and this and this and this. But on this side, I am making progress, and I'm even not repeating that same mistake. So I'm decreasing every 8th row, but on the same side. So maybe in my third Sophie hood, I would make it perfect, like without any flaws. Obviously, everything that we can make has flaws, but still, I just want to correct my errors every time I knit another piece. I decided I'm not counting how many decreases I've made and how many decreases left to make. I will just keep decreasing until I have 6 stitches left on my needles. Because I just don't feel like counting. I will just keep on working, and just wanna end this. So we are on our 7th row. Guys, if you feel shy commenting on my live, in my live chat, you can use different emojis in the live chat. That's a fun way to interact also. So whenever I join a live, I use that option very well because I just like how creative those stickers are. So I just use them in other people's lives. If you want, you can use them as well. That they will show your expression and you won't have to type anything in the comment section or in the live chat, I must add. That's a very good way to express when you're shy. Wait, did we did not make a decrease here, right? Oh my god, we have to go back. I have to undo all these stitches. You can see how I'm doing it. Yes, now it's good. I literally forgot to make a decrease in this row where it was clearly a decrease row. The 8th row is always a decrease row. But it's okay, it happens. I was talking and I forgot. And I allow myself these little mistakes. So, oh my god. We're safe. Okay, so this is the last stitch that we're going to undo. Because in the decreases, we have to knit 2 that are already here. We have to slip this one, knit the 4th one, and now take the slip stitch and drop it off the needle. So yeah, now we have made our decrease. The rest of the row is the same. So let's just follow that. So whenever I undo the knit stitches and when I re-knit them, it's a little tight. I don't know why. Because the procedure was same how they were made and then I undone them. But they still feel really tight every time I do it. So the last 3 stitches we need to slip them off the needles. And now reset row 1. last 3 stitches, and now continuing with row 2. Row 3. So now we have the last 3 stitches. We need to slip, 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 and slip. Okay, so the first row, now slip the stitches, and row 5. Hello, Aerosol. How are you? Am I pronouncing your name right? Do you also crochet? I would really love to hear from you. we are on our 5th row out of the 8th row pattern that we are on. Last 3 stitches and slip and slip, 6th row. We are making it to the end, and we are finishing this Sophie hood in this live, so make sure to watch, subscribe, like and share. So you can watch me making other projects while I'm live and interacting with you guys. If you subscribe, you will get notified when I go live or when I post my videos. If you push the bell notifications on. Also, I haven't posted much on my YouTube posts. Aldous Holder, hi, how are you? So I was telling you about my YouTube post section. I used to post on it, but then I stopped. But now when I complete this Sophie hood, I will be taking pictures and I will post over there, so you can watch and see how it looks when I'm wearing it. Last 3 stitches and you have to slip them. Slip, slip and slip. 8th row of our decrease, because we are doing decrease every 8th row. So knit the first 2 stitches, first stitch, second stitch, slip the 3rd one and knit the 4th one. Bring the slipped stitch and drop it off the needle. So this is our decrease. The rest of the row will be as usual, only knits and last 3 stitches slipped. Last 3 stitches are there and slip, snip and slip. So reset row 1. Row 2. Last 3 stitches, slip, slip and slip, row 3. I'm thinking of doing 2 decreases in the same row in the upcoming 8th row. I think that will be great every now and then, because that's not gonna make much of an impact. So I will do the degrees. So I will let you know how to do 2 decreases in the same row. Last 3 stitches, slip, slip, and slip. Row 4. So we are ending our 4th row with the slip stitches. Slip, slip, and slip. 5th row. Row 6. There was this thing that I heard about the petite knits pattern that she wishes not to let anyone sell this Sophie Hood. Like, if I'm making it right now by Petite Knit, she means for me to not sell it, even if I made it with my own hands. I think that's a little I do not have a word for it, but I think for someone who has made it with their own hands, they should be allowed to sell it. Like, if I made it good, I can sell it. Not, she has written it in her pattern that you are not allowed to sell the Sophie Hood that you made. You can just make it for your own self, but you cannot sell it. So, I don't know why that's there. Actually, I need a piece. Because even if the pattern is hers, but when someone makes it, that makes that product of the person who made it, right? So if I'm knitting this is my piece, and if I intend to sell it, I can, because this is something that I made. This is something that I have ownership over. That's my point of view, and I don't know what you all think of it. This is what I think. Okay, so this is the 7th row, and the 8th row, where we have to make the decrease, we will be making 2 decreases. So instead of slipping one stitch, we will be slipping 2 stitches, and then we will get them off the needle, both of them. First we will count how many stitches we have left, and then we will decide to do it. So this is 8th row. Let's count the stitches. See how grid wide it has become. Okay, let's count the stitches. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22. So if in this round we slip 2 stitches, we are left with 2 stitches. And let's do the other half later. And let's just do the 2 decreases in the same direction, and then 1. And instead of knitting this, I will slip this off and the other one as well, and then knit the 4th one. And now I will take both of these slipped ones and will drag them off the needle. So we have 2 stitches of our needle, and let's just knit around the way across. This was our 8th row. So there is still our 8th row. So now we have 20 stitches on our needle. So how many, excuse me, how many stitches we have to decrease so that we are left with 6 stitches. 20 minus 6, 40. So we need to make 14 more decreases. And some of those decreases will be double decreases, so I have to use it. So when we started decreasing, we had so many stitches. Still, I don't know how many of them because I didn't count. But now that I am seeing it narrowing down, it has 20 stitches as of now. So it would have been doubled or tripled when it was in its peak width. So it is row 1. And now stepping the stitches, let's slip and row 2. So now the slip stitches, 1, 2 and 3, row 3. We have 14 more decreases to go, and that will be really fast because the number of stitches are really less. So we go by really quickly from one row to another. That's going to be a real quick ant that we don't want us out. Slip stitches. And by the way, the double decrease that I did in the last decrease row was not in the pattern, but I did it on my own just to try it out. And let's see if it worked out in the end or not. I think it's not, because the double decrease would give it such a dip that it would not look natural. So I'm not going to do this again. I'm just going to do 14 simple decreases, one decrease each 8th row. So that's something I don't want to do again. Love how it ends, and I'm really excited to find it. Finally, it took me off panicking this. So let's see how narrow it is now. Slip stitches, slip, slip, and slip, row 6, by the way, when I tell you that once we reach the 6 stitches in one row, we will start decreasing, but decreasing is a technique where which we use to even close up this 6 stitches that will remain there. So the decreasing will not end, but this pattern of every 8th row that will end. So, because when I started making this circle hood, it also started with 6 rows. So when I am finishing it, I will also finish it with 6 rows. Row 8, a row where we decrease. So when I was making the first ever Sophie hood that I made, that I messed up. When I was making it, my friend came from Dubai and she stayed here for a week, and that's when I decided that when I complete the Sophie hood, I thought I would complete it in 2 days. it's not possible for first timer to start and finish it in 2 days. But I decided that I would complete it and I will gift her the sofa board. But then I messed it up and she definitely went back to her home in Dubai after a week. So that target that I had set for myself was very low, and also I did not make a good sofa board. So you can be delusional when you start, but that's fine. I think it's good. It is the driving force that drives you to move forward. Okay, reset, row 1 again. Slip stitches, 1, 2 and 3, 4, 2,